Initializing spaceship of live. And you're live. Congratulations.
Happy New Year, everybody. We're going live.
There you are.
It's
Sorry.
unannounced, unexpected. Happy New Year.
Gunner's wife. We'll let things load up here. Get people in the
Yeah, we're
chat.
not expecting a big audience because according to our times, it's like super middle of the night. Um, but we're just going to get it done because there's a lot of videos that the clips we got to just keep rolling through. And so we're just kind of we're winging it right now. We're going to get through some tweets, and then we have a heavy clip show that we're just going to power through tonight.
All right. Well, Gunner's wife, you've got some people here. Level 1 with the first comment saying Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Who is it?
Level
Level
1.
1. Happy New Year, Level 1. I see David C. Uh, Anne Lapalainen. Well, that's a cool name. Tina Baldwin, Leslie Hi. Hi, you guys. Welcome. What are you doing up? That's that's awesome.
Well, I'd be really interested to know where everybody is watching from right now. Okay, New Jersey.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, Scotland. Very cool.
That makes sense, actually. Happy New Year, everybody. Let's have a little party. We've got the most killer stuff that I've got prepared for you, and it's a long time coming. And we're kind of titling this show Letters from the Past because I've got a couple letters from the Bush funeral that we'll hit on, and you're gonna be super happy about that. And then we just have a bunch of clips, so we'll just start rolling in. I also have some tweets because, dude, if you check out the image behind me, Elon Musk is like he's just dropping bombs on Twitter. It's crazy. Like this guy doesn't stop. It's like boom, 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 boom. We're going to go over a few of those.
All right. Well, on that cue, we'll get the first one going.
West Virginia.
Oh, I
Yay.
forgot to get out of the way.
Jeremy Broderick. It's a great name. Um,
All right.
Connie M from Michigan. Centilly from Montana. Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. My gosh, you guys are up at all hours. What's going on?
Ooh, Jan Skaggs says cool headphones.
Oh, yes, we went to red because that way I don't have any interference from space behind me because we're flying through space. Okay, let's get started, right? Well, when you're ready with the first tweet
I
ID.
I think oh, that isn't the right one. Man, I'm already I'm already screwing it up.
That's okay. We're gonna hit an ad something that Elon Musk said about Adam Schiff, which I was glad to see because I guess Adam Schiff is the outgoing chair of the House Intelligence. Now, how did he even get that position in the first place? That's crazy. I don't know how that works, how that guy even got that spot. I wouldn't give him that spot. Um, but he's outgoing, so I guess that's good news. Uh, so Elon says to him, as outgoing chair of House Intelligence, did you approve hidden state censorship in direct violation of the Constitution of the United States at Rep. Adam Schiff? So he like calls the guy to the floor to be
Mm.
like, did you know? Did you do that knowingly? Um, So that's pretty crazy. And then I had a clip this week that I played of what Trump thought about Schiff and was kind of warning us back in 20, I want to say 2020 or 2018 this clip is from.
Well, let me know when you're ready to roll it, Gunner's wife.
I'm ready. I saw Adrian Cook said that it's 6 a.m. outside in Annapolis, and she's walking her dog because he can't wait.
It must be so cold.
Well, she's good doggy mama. All right, let's roll the clip of what Trump thinks of Adam Schiff.
All right, here we go.
Tremendous dishonesty from Schiff and from others. And they know what's going on. They know these are not stupid people. They know it was a hoax. They know better than anybody in this room it was a hoax. They set it up. They're not aggrieved. I watched Shifty Schiff, 9 inches around the neck. And I watched this guy uses the world's smallest collar, right? But I watched him, I guess this morning, talking about he acts so aggrieved, so aggrieved. He knows he got caught. And not only caught, if he weren't in the halls of Congress, he'd be in jail because he made up phony stories and phony speeches and phony everything was phony. He's a sick man. He's really a sick man. He's a corrupt politician. So I wouldn't count on somebody like him.
So something that is so super interesting, there's a couple things that I want to point out about that clip is that a 9-inch collar around the neck. Why did he say that? Like, ID Tinty, you have tiny little hands and tiny little arms, so you won't be able to show us what is a 9-inch. I don't even know. I think
Yeah, so that's
it's probably
the circumference of the neck, and so like
it's a tiny neck. It's like the
very
world's
very
smallest
small. Like most
neck.
men's necks are around 15 or 16 inches in circumference, I would say.
Okay, so like a child-sized, right?
Yeah.
So it's interesting that Trump kind of trolls Schiff with that. And then the other thing that I wanted to point out about that clip is that is I think Congress finds themselves in this exempt place with law, like the legal system, where they're exempt from a lot of things that like normal citizens aren't exempt from. Like we can't just go out and just start lying, right? But they can. And how are they exempt? Like they think they're exempt. Are they really exempt? Because nobody should be above the law. Like, isn't that what all these politicians keep ranting? So how hypocritical if they know that there are certain exemptions from the law, that they come out on a stage and would say, oh, no one's above the law, except maybe they think that they are. So it's getting really hard to trust any politicians anyway, but they're not a good bunch.
David C is saying they have immunity, but they shouldn't. And then a lot of people in the chat are saying that the 9-inch neck is code for something, some kind of comms.
Okay, well, we won't mention that.
Yeah, we're not going to say it, but I think they might be onto something. I don't know.
Yeah. So those are a couple things about that particular clip. And I think that we can, in hindsight, we can certainly start putting these things together. What might have seemed surprising back then for a lot of people, not everybody, it's way more imaginable now, especially with all the things that have been coming out, from like fashion ads that we've seen that are just so unacceptable. So ID, let's hit to any comments that you see that are relevant to this that we can actually say.
Okay.
And then or we just go to the next tweet.
Yeah, we'll just hang out here for a minute. First of all, I just want to do an audio check with everybody to make sure that the video audio and Gunner's wife and I's audio are good. So if it is, let me know. And if you're watching and you're here, if you want to hit the like button, that helps the Gunner's wife out a lot. We're at 36 likes, but I think we should be higher than that. Regarding the comments, I'm not really seeing any. Okay, Marianne Casano says it's good. Judy says it's good. Okay, everybody says it's good. Okay, fantastic. I'm not seeing any questions or anything to really anchor on in the chat. So now, if you were here for our for Gunner's wife's last stream, she was doing some questions. So if you have questions, throw them in the chat. I'll write them down, and then we can either stop on them here or we could catch up with them at the back end.
Yeah, ID10T does a really good job at monitoring the chats. It's kind of a little bit hard for me to see without like sticking my face against the monitor. And then I'm also, I think I talk too much, so I don't really read enough of
Well,
the chats.
talking too much is a great trait for a live streamer and commenter. So I think you're doing great, Gunner's wife.
Okay, but I swear the show is clip heavy.
All
we're
right, so we'll
we're
move
gonna
on
have
then.
a clip heavy show.
We'll move on to the next clip.
Well, I think it's not the clip. Let's go back to those tweets.
All right, we'll go back to the tweets.
There's lots of tweets to talk about that are relevant to this because so what we've gathered, I mean, the information is at such a high speed of being released that it's really hard to keep up. And what we do know is that the government was using these platforms as extended arms for the government at the request of government to hide behind the scenes and unconstitutionally censor our First Amendment. I mean, it's so crazy. They know they're not supposed to be doing that. So these intelligence groups that will cloak everything as, we already knew they were cloaking everything as classified to get away with having to talk about it, like the JFK record files that got released, and now everyone's like, oh, so we're just admitting what happened with that story now after after everything was called conspiracy and it was actually true. Oh, okay, no problem. Where's the apology? At least where's the accountability? And now we're seeing that they're illegally doing this. No problem on the big tech platforms. And it's just like everybody already knew this and it's totally illegal. Like, where's the accountability? It better be coming. So, yeah, so we see that there's been tons of Twitter file drops. The mainstream media won't talk about it because they're a part of it and they were part of the cover up. Whether they can use an excuse that they were pressured from government, that's why they did it. Like, it's unacceptable. They should have been whistleblowing. If they were so innocent, they should have just been like, look, we don't want a part of this. And, but anyway, so the next couple tweets are just Elon just bombshell boom after boom after boom, crushing these people, calling them out, calling them to task.
Well, before we roll to that next tweet, Jan Skaggs wanted to know if you're feeling better, Gunner's wife.
Sometimes.
And
Sometimes. Thank you. Thank you for asking.
Raphael woke up at 4 a.m. and he's watching. He's very excited to see you.
Yay! Happy New Year, Raphael. Good morning.
Yeah.
4 a.m.
How's the
Better grab some coffee.
How's the early morning time going for everybody? Is it working out?
They don't care.
They don't care. How's 2023? Okay, moving on.
Yeah, I know. People don't trust Elon. Who is that, Raphael? I know. I don't either. I actually don't either. Like, you're not going to stick chips in people's heads. So there's some real problems here. I think, though, the reason that he's doing these drops is because if he doesn't, he's going to own all the responsibility and accountability for the Twitter platform. So I think he's cooperating with some behind the scenes investigations. I don't think he volunteered. I don't know. I don't think he volunteered to do this. I think he's being forced to do this.
Well, we've got a tweet from Elon on December 20th, who looks like he's retweeting Dave Rubin, who I'm not sure who that is. He says, "Holy deep S, the government was actually paying Twitter to censor people." Now, Do you know
Yeah.
anything behind that, or does anybody know what that was all about?
And well, it's what we just talked about.
Yeah.
And then it's also the paying was I guess they got millions of dollars from the government. The government was just give them millions of dollars to be the censors, and then they were getting emails through a backdoor channel of like, "Oh, take this down. Oh, take this down." Even the lady who ran for the Arizona governor was able to send them emails to take her competitor down. Um, it's oh my gosh, it's so crazy, and no media outlet is picking it up. Not the mainstream media, legitimate media outlets are. And then, um, so we knew other social medias because we saw the testimony of Mark Zuckerberg where he said there's a list that they coordinate. They get a list to shadow ban. If your name's on that list, it's guaranteed that each of the main platforms are going to hit you all at the same time. Who's making those lists? Well, we find out who it is now. It's our own government are putting people on lists and suppressing and censoring and removing and deleting and calling them, terrorists and it's so crazy, corrupt.
Well, Jan Skaggs agrees he's being forced. She says she prays for Elon. And there was one other thing that I wanted to say. Oh, where is it? It's from Whistler's wife. I lost it. Whistler's wife says early morning is the best for her. So that's something there. I don't know if it's the Whistler or just Whistler's wife, but so we're going to move to the next tweet. The Twitter files on free speech suppression, soon to be published on Twitter itself. The public deserves to know what really happened. Who's read the Twitter files out there? Have you, Gunner's wife?
I've skimmed some of them. I think what happens is like, I get a little bit irked about it because the people who come out and they're like, "Oh, see, I knew I was censored or I knew I was being shadow banned." It's always someone who's like already uber famous. So it's like shadow banning does not affect these people the way that shadow banning affects me. All the little guys out there like me. Like the shadow banning is almost a kill mute button on the nameless and the voiceless. Like if you're already famous and your name's James Woods, you've been complaining for years you're shadow banned. Somehow everybody still heard the guy, but when like I complain that I'm shadow banned or I'm getting hit, nobody's going to hear that. So I don't know, like the famous people that's coming out of the Twitter files, but it's like I want real names. I want my name. I want to know. I want to see it because I already know. I want to see it. And I want to see like Jan Skaggs. I want to see how shadow banned she was because that matters to her. Like no one's going to know the little guy.
Yeah, like Auntie Mandy is saying, no one sees my tweets.
Yes,
I'm only seen if I
her.
comment on another tweet.
Exactly. And that's what, Elon kind of ticks me off because like Twitter's so bad now. Like it's real. I think it's terrible. It was good for about 2 weeks and everyone was like, yay, we're on not shadow banned. And you could tell. And then boom, it's like back, but it's worse. And all I ever see is anybody who gets to comment on these people that are put on a pedestal, people that we don't even know who they are outside of that platform. I really don't know what their body of work it is or what their credentials are that makes them so big on Twitter, except they pay to be boosted for reach and it's a money making. I don't know. I just the whole thing's a mess, and Elon plays both sides, and I want real people to have a voice. I don't care about these stars. I'm tired of them.
Hmm. Well, while you were talking about that, Gunner's wife, I started a poll to see who is shadow banned on Twitter, yes or no, and it looks like we're at about 53% or shadow banned on 56%. So we'll let that poll run for a little while.
Is anybody saying no?
I'm trying to see
Does that mean 40? Does that mean 39% say no?
39% are saying no right now out of 18 votes.
Wow,
So
lucky.
6 people are not shadow
How do they know? And that's the whole point, though. We don't know.
banned. Right?
I don't know about your poll. It's kind of hard to. It's a subjective poll.
Oh, some people voted no, but they didn't have accounts. So
Oh, yeah, you
anyway,
didn't. You didn't.
it's okay.
All right, next tweet. We got to get to the clips.
All right. This is a battle for the future of civilization. If free speech is lost, even in America, tyranny is all that lies ahead. 100%,
Right. So
100% agree with that.
yeah, but and everybody agrees, but anymore, the way that the lines are blurred, what does free speech mean anymore to people when you've got like Jacinda, the New Zealand psycho? She she'll say, she's like, "Oh, anybody that spreads anything that's against what the global narrative is dangerous." And it's like, that's kind of the exact definition of authoritarian, like tyrants. You don't, so they're deciding that our free speech is dangerous speech, therefore it can't be free. And it's such a twist around. It's like the serpent is wrapping its forked tongue around free speech to kill it.
Yeah, I mean, if you take away people's ability to communicate and think and organize, then that's what you want to do if you're a tyranny, right? You don't want anybody to be able to talk and communicate. That's why they're doing it.
Yeah, I've got something, it's going to be coming up. I've got I'll touch more on how these people are twisting definitions in order to uh I mean, they used to go from saying if you're from the South and you have a flag on your porch, you're racist. And now they just say, "Oh, if you're white." So I think that it's like a slippery slope to where you kind of know where they're getting at, but right now you're just terrorists. So it's like, wow, we got there fast.
Well, Matthew Watts says hi from South Australia at 10 p.m. there. Happy New Year. So we've got people in New Jersey
Oh,
and
that's
on
cool.
Australia.
Happy New Year.
So the next tweet from Elon says, "Truth brings reconciliation." What do you think he meant by that?
Yeah, we need the truth. And he's been dropping some truth. So that's what is so, tricky with the guy that rides the fence so well. He's like fence surfing, and he hits on one side and then he'll go on the other. Someone asked him the other day, "Are chips going to be in people's heads by 2030?" And he's like, "Sooner than that." And it's like, that's uh I I don't okay, we'll just have to move on. Let's just move on. I don't even want to get started on this stuff
All
right now.
right.
Let's just move on and focus on this.
Can we read this
And
tweet out loud?
you go. You're so
Okay.
tiny.
I
Okay, go
know.
ahead.
Okay. My pronouns are prosecute Fauci.
Okay. Now that got
The
a lot
spicy
of
take.
media attention.
Yeah.
And we have a clip on Fauci coming up, so that's why I put this. And then what's the next one?
Next one is almost no one seems to realize that the head of bioethics at NIH, the person who is supposed to make sure that Fauci behaves ethically, is his wife, Christine Grady.
Yeah, that was quite the bombshell dropped by another one dropped by Elon. Next.
Next tweet is, should Congress approve the 1.7 trillion omnibus spending bill? Looks like most people said no there.
You know what? Can we
After
stop
3
right now
million
and
votes.
play that Fauci
Yeah,
clip?
yeah. Let's
Okay.
we'll switch over and do the Fauci clip.
Who said Twitter is filled with loons? I agree with that person. I didn't catch her name. It is so bad.
I'll go back and I can get that name for you, Gunner's wife, if you need it.
Let's play the Fauci clip. November 11th, Fauci was leaving a hearing where he had to give testimony, and the media did not cover it. So this guy, he's caught coming out of his testimony or whatever, and they have it all confidential. You're not going to be able to know what they're talking about in these hearings. You barely even know when these hearings are going on. Nobody's reporting anything. And it's kind of like the Epstein stuff. You're never going to get any information because they don't want to give it to you. And this is Fauci when he came out of one, and I caught what he was telling. I don't know if it's his lawyer. It probably is a lawyer, or it's one of the armed guards, because he was like saying he had to have armed guards because he's in so much danger because of Elon Musk and free speech, and it's so dangerous for him now. And anyway, we can roll this clip. We might have to watch it a couple times because it's a very short clip and there's a lot of information packed into it. By someone. We hear Fauci being heckled by someone on the sideline. They're not exempt from being traitors. They've been caught in their own string theories. Clearly you're hiding those studies of what it does to the heart. Get away with this. Fauci keeps walking. He's not even listening. And he keeps talking to the guy that he's with. He seems to be under a lot of pressure. Let's hear what Fauci's saying.
Pyramid of celebrities and a financial hierarchy. You now are scaring me. According to Facebook, there's a film of necrophilia could be arrested for what you put on your Facebook. So they're going to be trying to release everything with its own nanotech so that the protein bonds look like American diseases. It's hard to call on these cops when there's chopped here on your Facebook.
We hear Fauci being heckled by someone on the sideline. They're not exempt from being traitors. They've been caught in their own string theories. Clearly you're hiding those studies of what it does to the heart. Get away with this. Fauci keeps walking. He's not even listening. And he keeps talking to the guy that he's with. He seems to be under a lot of pressure. Let's hear what Fauci's saying.
Pyramid of celebrities and a financial hierarchy. You now are scaring me. According to Facebook, there's a film of necrophilia could be arrested for what you put on your Facebook. So they're going to be trying to release everything with its own nanotech so that the protein bonds look like American diseases. It's hard to call on these cops when there's chopped here on your Facebook.
Wow.
So can you leave that running without sound so that I can talk about this?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. So, so they're walking. He's being, they're like slinging arrows at this guy. Like they're saying, you had studies that you withheld. You're not going to get away with this. So whoever's on the side walking alongside of him, I don't think that there are as many press that are still backing this guy, because the way that they're coming at him on the sidelines, you can hear them shouting at him, is it's aggressive. And this is press. This is not even I don't think these are normal people. This is obviously press following him. But we can't see who it is, so we just hear them. And then it's interesting because he says that, well, they're shouting it. Someone says to him, they're not exempt from being traitors. So like we were saying before, a lot of these officials think that they're exempt. And I don't know. I mean, obviously they wrote laws, passed laws to protect all these people who are sort of like in this wicked web of being government arms. So if you look at, the NIH, or you look at the CDC, or you look at the FDA, these people are so interconnected that they're married to each other, right? Like, so they have laws where they're exempt and from being prosecuted, but someone says to him, "You're not exempt." And then Fauci saying to this guy that it's the pyramid of celebrities and financial hierarchy who are trying to scare him, and that there's a video or videos on Facebook that I can't really like, if you go back, you'll see that what they are of. So the videos are not something that he wants to have released. Nobody in their right mind would ever want something like that released. No one in their right mind would ever have videos like that or make videos like that or be a part of that. But since he happens to have those things, he does not want them released, and he's being threatened and scared with this. That, you know, you can imagine the scenario, right? It's like, "Hey, buddy, you talk and this stuff's coming out."
Mm.
And why does Fauci really have armed guards? So he's telling the guy next to him, and but then it's the next part that he says that is so tremendously insightful, is that whoever he's referring to, is it the pyramid of celebrities and financial hierarchy? But he says they are planning to release ID10T. I need you to play the video behind me. I'm so
Okay.
sorry.
Yeah, we'll get it
You're
going.
really little and cute, but I need you to play it. He says that they're planning to use their own nanotech to disguise the proteins as American diseases. So if you, let's say you have, like, they were having like spike or whatever. Let's say it's coded and programmed to create a different. How do you detect that? If they can cloak it that well and blend it that well, like a chameleon, they can program it and that's what it is. How do you detect it? How do you detect where that came from? And if you're studying it under a microscope, it says it's American. So I'm not a I'm not a microbiologist or whatever, all this stuff that you have to be to do this. So, and I'm not married to the head of any of those departments to have, any kind of knowledge. But if you're programming nanotech to create something, and they're planning to release things that under the microscope look like it's an American disease from the programming, that could be endless. Like,
Mm.
and it could be undetectable. So I'm not really sure, but I thought that was super diabolical.
That is pretty freaky, and I don't know. I don't even know what to say to that. But I'm glad that you putting in the hard work that you're putting in, Gunner's wife, to find out at least the information for us. Thank you.
Where are the chats at, ID?
I can see them.
Oh, they just came back up.
Okay,
They disappeared.
interesting.
Anyway, was there anything else that I missed on that anyone has any questions about before we move on?
Yeah. Well, I'm looking at the memes trying to get the likes going, so I appreciate that. Marianne said she shared. Auntie Mandy said she'll share, not that anyone will see it.
Because she's shadow banned. Poor girl.
Oh no. Raphael loves the gunner's wife. He brags on her. No one's got any questions about the content right now, Gunner's wife. I think everybody's just happy to be here. You're up to 215 concurrent viewers. So everybody who's spending their morning in 2023 with the Gunner's wife, thank you.
Night owls. All right.
Well, I think they're the night owls in Australia. We got the early birds on the East Coast.
Yeah, they're out getting their kofefi.
Yeah. And you are okay. There are some questions in here that I'm not sure if I'm allowed to read them.
Well, then don't. You have to play it cautious. But I don't see the chats. That's what's so weird. It's like my feed just stopped.
Okay.
But that's okay. So you're gonna have to.
Yeah, that's weird. Oh, Felicia Bell's up on the West Coast. It's interesting that you can't see it. Well, I guess I'll just read them off to you.
Yeah, if there's like questions and stuff, I want to hit them while we're here.
Yeah.
Because that way, after the fact, like, you know,
Well, Gunner's
we
wife,
can
why
make
don't you
sure that we hit everything.
talk to us a little bit about this omnibus spending bill, and then maybe I can fix your chat problem.
Oh, can you then, before you leave,
Yeah.
your little rocket pod area, can you put it then on the photograph of the people that voted for it? Okay, now you can help me. I can talk about these guys for a second. So these are the rhino turncoats that voted for the omnibus bill. And a lot of them we're not really surprised about, but a couple of them are little sneaky buggers, and we have not really, they sort of lay in the shadows waiting to strike. Like the guy Young, I think he's Arkansas. I'm not sure. I have some info on him that is going to be up and coming. Oh my God. Be careful. What are you doing? It might not be worth it. It might not be worth it. Okay, thank you. And then Markowski, we're not surprised about her. Actually, I'm not surprised about any of these freaks. We've gone through, we have dirt that we've already exposed on a bunch of them. Lindsey Graham, that one guy, the very first guy under the word GOP, we caught that guy. We caught him talking to Kevin Brady, I think, about it's your job to ensure the safe, ha ha ha, about not losing any money during their crisis that was coming up that they knew about before everyone else somehow magically at the SOTU. That's on one of my SOTU videos. It's him and Kevin Brady laughing about how they're going to ensure the safe, not ensure safety. Get it? Ensure the safe. Haha. But keep an eye on the young guy. He's going to come back up on my channel because I've got something that you've got to see on this guy. It's, oh my gosh, it's so unbelievably believable. Okay, next. That's the omnibus. These people, they make me sick.
Well, just regarding that, Aisha R says Tom Cotton. I didn't see that one coming. Do you have a thought on that?
Yeah, I wonder why he's not in this photograph list. I know
He
that
is.
a couple.
He's right next to Lindsey Graham.
Oh, is he? I didn't see him. Oh, I see him. Yeah, Turncoat Tom. That's him. I don't even know. Like, I have a theory that these are just the ones that were necessary for that particular vote, and that they all took one for the team. And I know Tom Cotton has caught a lot of flack for exposing his true colors with this, and I'm glad. And I feel like the next time when some rhinos are needed, they'll throw up a new batch that, oh, well, they didn't vote last time and we don't want Tom to look really bad this time again. So can we get another volunteer? And it's like, I think it's just Team One Swamp. That's my new theory. It's just Team One Swamp. I don't think there's any good guys anymore. These politicians are all corrupt in my book.
Happy Camper said Tom Cotton voted because he said the military needed the money now. So he just voted for it because it would fund the military.
Well, I didn't see much of a fight out of him before he just rolled over. Kind of a soft rollover.
All right.
That's interesting, though. That's his excuse. Thank you for telling me that.
Elon says, as an outgoing chair of House Intelligence, did you?
We already did that.
That's it. We've been through all the tweets. All right, Gunner's
Let's go.
Okay.
To the
next video.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Get it loaded up.
All right, let me go to the chats while you're doing that. Ooh, Tucson. Where is everyone? Well, we're on and off time because I had to just get it done. And it's New Year. And speaking of suppression and censorship, every year I've done a Christmas video, and super exciting stuff. The first year was when Vincent Fusca wrote JFK in the audience behind Trump, and that was just a game-changing proof that I did. It really put me on the map. It really let everyone know that there's a behind the scenes going on for sure, because there was a lot of speculation, and that was just an incredible Christmas. And then the next Christmas, I think I did one on Karen. And speaking of suppression and censorship, that almost that entire body of work of mine got hit by the coordinating platform deal that we've just discovered. So this year I had some clips and stuff, but I figured, you know what, I'll either do a Christmas or I'll do a New Year, and here we are on New Year, so I just wanted to get it done. And yeah, it's the middle of the night or whatever, but the most important thing is to get it out. People can wake up and watch it.
Yeah, well, Gunner, so I think you're doing fantastic. You got 250 people here, and most of your audience is still asleep. I think it's great. And for everybody who's liked and shared, thank you very much for that. So
thanks for being here, guys.
Got another clip coming. This is a great one. So when you're ready, I'm going to let it rip, Gunner's wife.
Oh, let's take it back. Let's go back in time. Let's talk about, remember that famous Al Gore kiss with Tipper? I always thought that name was cool. Tipper Gore. And that was like the most famous political moment, right? Well, they talked before and after that, and I decoded what they said. And Mr. Crisis, Al Gore, he's got some loose lips, all right.
All right, well, here we go.
Fun to be a god than a regular person. And as Terry just said, in this case, from saving the planet. And his wife knows he puts on his pants one leg at a time, Right. And she's there reminding him of the mortgage payments and of the fact that he's just a regular person, not a god. And, who needs that? It's much more fun to be a god than a regular person. That's true. And you felt fun to be a god.
I'm going to go ahead and fact check Koki's statement about Tipper's reminders to Al Gore. I caught her reminding him of this. You need to lower your voice. The media can hear you.
Don't ever say anything in front of military. They're not political and they can hide arrests.
If there is no crisis, how many times can you lie? Gotta understand it means the world's Luciferians. They gotta make shit up.
Isn't that Luciferian? Your Luciferian philosophy is major crisis and cocaine. Kiss me on the lips, it's gotta.
careful, extra kisses only tease your venom.
Oh yeah, can't get on him.
They all want politics. Take your big turn. Take your big turn. Your audience loves you.
About AI.
Every day gets subpoena.
Artificial insanity. Artificial insanity. They're putting out messages that create an alternate reality.
Everything's a lie.
The lizard people?
I know you all know there's no climate problem.
It's more fun to be a god.
I know you know that.
Isn't that Luciferian?
Knows he puts on his legs one leg at a time.
Artificial insanity. They're putting out messages.
Crisis.
Saving the planet.
Crisis.
A regular person, not a god. That's true. Who needs that? And, in this case, it's more fun to be a god than a regular person.
Create an alternate reality.
I know you all know there's no climate problem.
Conspiracy.
I know that just happened.
They gotta make shit up.
It's more fun to be a god.
If there is no crisis, how many times can you lie?
Just a regular person, not a god.
Crisis.
Who needs that?
Gotta understand it means the world's Luciferian.
It's more fun to be a god than a regular person.
Don't ever say anything in front of military. They're not political and they can hide arrests.
Much more.
Wow.
All right. So interesting. Cokie Roberts. She actually not narrated, but whatever. She did the coverage of the Bush funeral. Also, she talks throughout that on the live feed for the Bush funeral for her channel. I don't know which one she's at. They're all the same. But back then, she's saying like, "Oh, it's much more fun to be a god than a regular person." Like, ew, who needs that? And it's it's like, who wants to be a regular person when you can just play God over everyone's lives? That's so cool. And I think at this time, I think they announced that Tipper was leaving Al Gore as he was about to be. Was this when he was going to be VP for? What was it, Clinton? Anyway, I don't know. It was like decades ago. So he's taking his big turn on the center stage, on the world stage of politics. For his number one thing is crisis. He's the crisis guy, right? He's the inventor of the internet. He's the Y2K guy. Someone pointed out to me his name is Al Gore, like algorithm. It's like, yeah, he invented the internet. What does that even mean? Is that even true? I thought that was always like a conspiracy theory. But so that's Al Gore, Mr. Crisis, and Cokie.
There's so many things to talk about in that video, but you have to be careful. I hope those of you that are watching can pick up on what the gunner's wife's really trying to tell you here.
They can. I mean, you make out what you want to take out of this, and there's plenty of clips with their own words. I mean, you see, gosh, look at him. You see Al Gore, he's so into AI, he's like, and he's so close with the Clintons, and he's so close with Klaus Schwab and the environment and all this stuff. And he's Mr. Crisis on the world stage. He's always driving that train, and he's always lurking.
Yeah, he is. Well, gunner's wife, I don't have really anything. So, people are picking up on the the references there. And
Yeah, we're good. They can go back and watch it again.
okay.
I think we just move on because we've got a couple more, and we're going to hit on Al Gore at the funeral in just a little bit too. I have a clip of that. But now let's go to what's the next one? It's Michelle, right?
It's Big Mik.
It's
That's what it's called.
yeah. So this one is Michelle Obama's envelope at the funeral. Oh, I can't hear anything. ID.
Yeah, neither can I. I don't know why. It should be playing it, the audio.
Oh, we might have to roll this till next week.
Yeah, I think this one may not have any audio.
Oh, it definitely should.
Okay, but it's not outputting anything at all. So let's try something else. Ooh, a little cliffhanger.
The natives will be restless.
Okay, this is on my end, whatever's going on. So give me a moment, please.
Okay, let me do some chats then. Getting the skinny right from the horse's mouth, says Patrick. Crisis and Cokie Roberts.
Okay, folks, I figured out what the problem was. I turned the volume down.
I'm going to decode something that Michelle says that gives us a clue and a bit of insight into what exactly was going on with her special envelope, which we can safely assume is from Trump, since we saw that Laura's "can't wait till you see the note, it's something that came from me" was from him also. The note that Michelle received seems
Give me a program.
to be on Barry's mind because he asks for her program so he can carefully study it. He tries to play off and hide his concern as the Trumps are right next to him. I bet he's curious after hearing this.
Can't wait till you see the note, it's something that came from me.
It's always hard to tell if Michelle's upset because she seems to always be upset. But it's what Barry says to her that makes me think that she probably should be concerned, just like him. I cannot emphasize enough that we have to look before and after and throughout this event to find out clues to what's in the notes, because like we saw before, Trump put up all the cameras at the Washington National Cathedral,
Keep the note.
for the military to watch, but it's not for the public to see, and they haven't released that footage. So it tells us that the military is running an investigation and setting traps. So here we see much earlier in the event, before Donald Trump and Melania even show up to sit down, Michelle's joking around with Bill, and it's something that she says that gives us insight into what's going on and possibly pertains to her note, which she hadn't seen yet. And as she's joking around, she has no idea that she won't see that note until after Trump and Melania are already sitting next to her.
It's repulsive. There's still an investigation into Obama on foreign conspiracy with China. I even cuffed my hands on collusion.
Say your whole life as a timeline.
I ain't gotta tell you
Nothing.
So China told you what? Huh?
Big Mike. Big Mike. Big Mike.
Foreign conspiracy with China. I even cuffed my hands on collusion.
Say your whole life as a timeline.
I ain't gotta tell you
Nothing.
So China told you what? Huh? Exactly.
We will definitely be circling back to Michelle soon. In this clip, I'm going to decode something that Michelle says that gives us a clue and a bit of insight into what exactly was going on with her special envelope, which we can safely assume is from Trump, since we saw that Laura's
Can't wait till you see the note, it's something that came from me
was from him also. The note that Michelle received seems
Give me a program.
Seems to be on Barry's mind because he asks for her program so he can carefully study it. He tries to play off and hide his concern as the Trumps are right next to him. I bet he's curious after hearing this.
Can't wait till you see the note. It's something that came from me.
It's always hard to tell if Michelle's upset because...
All right, Gunner's wife.
Are you okay?
Yes, doing technical stuff.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, I mean, it's cool if we watched it again, but I don't know if it's necessary. I think people can go back and watch it on their own again.
All right.
But this is like massive bombshell information, right? So can you leave it playing while I talk?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So after Trump and Melania enter and sit down, Barry takes Michelle's program. He says, "Let me see your program." She gives it to him, and he flips through it. He's got Melania right next to him, like shoulder to shoulder, right? So he's trying to be all cool. He's Mr. Cool. And he's real slick and sly and sneaky too. So at the time when he's looking at the pamphlet, he doesn't want to be all obvious and grab that envelope, but I know that's what he wants to do. So if we go back, before Melania and Trump show up, you've got these clowns joking around and laughing with each other and yucking it up and just talking, right? And they're talking about something, and then Michelle gets all like peeved, or she's always peeved or something, and she's like, it's repulsive. There's still like a federal investigation into you know who, right there. And it's for foreign conspiracy with China. They even handcuffed me on collusion and said, say your whole life on a timeline. And she's like, I don't have to tell you nothing. What did China tell you? Yeah, that's right. So that that's basically the gist of that. And I'm trying to think, you know what? When I think there was a little bit more on that clip. I think you had it right, ID. I think that there's more to be played on that.
Well, it had cycled through back to the beginning.
It did completely.
Yes, ma'am. It did.
Yeah, something got funky. I think I messed that up, but it was after. I'll go back. If there's a problem with me cutting this video off, then I'll play it next time also. But basically that's the gist of that. And then at the end, because the camera cuts away, but then I have another feed clip where it goes back to her and she's like, what did China tell you? Huh? What? Exactly. And so she's counting on that. China's never going to tell anything that they know from previous administration foreign dealings. So she feels very confident that they've got nothing on her and nothing on, nothing to come on Barry. But I'm not so sure that Barry feels that way because he is very interested in that pamphlet and that envelope. And when they're sitting there talking and laughing, Barry's always kind of shifting around, looking around. He doesn't look like he's so comfortable as Bill and Michelle. So there's that. There's her her letter. We're going to get back to her. There's a lot more that I have. I can only produce so many clips though at any given time. That's why I want to get this done and then just keep moving on. I got a lot of material to churn through and a lot of information to provide.
All right, before we go to the next one, Gunner's wife, Old Fashioned at Heart is glad I caught you in Washington State. So your West Coast folks are starting to roll in with their cups of coffee.
Happy New Year, Old Fashioned at Heart. Welcome.
Yep. And you have 300 viewers here. Everybody who's here and you haven't dropped a like, if you don't mind, throw one out there. It really helps the Gunner's wife out grow. And let's see. Yep, and Beauty.mom is in Washington State as well, and Sasquatch Chewbacca is in California. All right.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that is awesome.
Happy New Year, Sasquatch Chewbacca.
Ah, Old Fashioned at Heart loves your magenta headphones, color of the year.
Yay. Yes, they are function and fashion all at the same time.
Aisha R is here from Colorado.
Nice.
So
Welcome.
JL
Happy New Year.
Gibbo 61 says Hillary keeps looking up, probably searching for cameras. You think she's onto something, Gunner's wife?
There is a lot going on in that funeral, and I have so much material, and I'm actually starting to have fun. I don't know if you guys liked my song that I did, but I liked it. It was kind of stuck in my head, so that's always a sign of a great song, a big hit.
I thought it was a
And
good song.
thank you. And I'm starting to have fun with this funeral. You know, it's like the old days of the So-Tos and that stuff. I really enjoy doing these crowd watching because you can catch a lot. And it's interesting, the more you watch it, the more you catch. Like you'll see things that you never saw before or that you never noticed before because it's endless. There's so much stuff. It's like exponential. And let me get back to, I want to get back. I'm still churning through it. I've got some oh my gosh, super bombshell stuff. It's just the clips take time to process and decode and all that. So there's some lag time on it. But the oldies are the goodies sometimes, and they're timeless.
Hey, Dennis Shearman, thank you for your subscription to the channel. Welcome to the Gunner's Wife
Yay.
team.
Welcome. Happy
Oh,
New Year.
wow, you've got people from all over the world, from Scotland to Australia, watching you right now. Congratulations, Gunner's Wife.
Worldwide.
Keep it up.
That's awesome. People are awake worldwide, literally.
Oh, and we've got someone from the Philippines, St. Louis, Missouri. Wow, I could read these places all day, but we should probably move forward.
It would be cool to have a map of like everybody from their area, and we could peg it all in the world map of like, oh, you know, JD Vance is in the Philippines. Here he is. And, you know, we could have them all ticked off.
That would be really cool. I'll look into that and see if that's a possibility. All right, Gunner's Wife, do you want to talk about Elon before we roll this clip, or you want to just let it rip?
I think that this is a preparation clip because I think we're going to see just a snippet of this in the next one. So just to give it a little context, we could roll this because we've talked about this a lot where Elon acknowledges that AI is basically Luciferian. So he knows what he's dealing in. Now, is he a straight shooter? That's what's really hard to gauge with him because why would you put a chip in your head, right? I mean, why would you allow AI the access when you know what it is? And here's what it is out of his own mouth. Here's his own words. Is Cyborg Man, Robot Boy, here's what he has to say about AI.
We are summoning the demon. You know those stories where there's the guy with the pentagram and the holy water, and he's like, yeah, you sure you can control the demon? Didn't work out.
Doesn't work out.
We're summoning the demon.
Yeah, AI is pretty darn scary.
Yeah,
Gunner's
so
wife.
just put a chip in your head. What's the problem?
We should do a poll and see how many people would put a chip in their head.
Now, I was trying to think like what could be an actual legitimate reason to desperately put the chip in your head. What would the world have to come to? And it's probably heading there very fast. It seems like we're in a nosedive.
Yeah. Raphael seems to think Neuralink is a good thing. He said he would.
He would. What if something starts telling you to like break windows or I don't know. But I was thinking the only thing would be if this nanotech biological mad science is as bad as what kind of Fauci hinted at in that, or just said in that video clip that I showed. If it's going on that scale, the only thing that I can see where you're like, hurry up, give me that AI chip in my head would be if, I mean, I still wouldn't take, like, it's like, no. But if people thought that there was a reversal through that.
This is Raphael's logic, and it kind of makes sense. He's saying for like people who's lost limbs, veterans, maybe their chip will let them control a prosthetic or robotic arm or leg or something like that. That's what he's saying.
Yeah, but you're already driving around in this dude's car with the AI Tesla, and it knows exactly where you're at. And then you get into Uvalde, and he's like, "Oh, we are going to monitor the human under the skin." And it's like, yeah, they want to monitor like in your head. They're going to monitor in your skin, in your home, in your car, it's like IP address is invasive. And then now we're going to just do, I mean, I can see what Raphael said. I can see the point, right? They'll sell you on that stuff. It's like, oh, it's only 2 weeks.
Wasn't there
It's just to help you with your limb.
I'm sorry to interrupt it. Wasn't there a scandal with Alexa, how that Amazon thing was listening to you at all times and would like recommend you products based off of its eavesdropping on you? Anybody hear
Yeah, I
anything
think
about
it was
that?
also
Is that a
telling
thing?
on people.
Like rat snitching on them? I don't know.
Yeah. Or like it started getting super diabolical. Like, have you guys seen the preview? We went and I went and saw Avatar, the movie. It was really good. I highly recommend it. And there's a preview about this AI girl named Megan, and that looks like it's like Elon's kid. Like that's what it seems like to me. It's like, oh, here comes Ilona. That's Megan, the AI girl. Sketchy. And it gets to the point where they eventually the thing is like gonna chase you. I never heard the Alexa one, but I feel sorry for anyone named Alexa. You cannot even just say the name anymore. Something's gonna come alive and listen to you.
So Beauty Daughter Mom says we were watching a movie and no kidding had recommendations of nothing but on the subject of the movie and other related movies immediately afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
wait,
No, thank you.
somebody says they have a metal leg and they're being tracked. Wait, what was it? Shalala says I have a metal leg. I think they track my leg now. Question mark. Interesting.
I think that Elon has a point. It's unavoidable. It's inescapable. But why is he accelerating it?
Elon's an enigma, right? So sometimes he's doing things that we would think are very useful and good, and on the other hand, he's doing weird stuff. This doesn't make any sense.
He's Megan. So,
I would be interested to know who. Yeah, we'll do a poll. Is Elon good or not? We'll find out, and then we'll move on.
I think it's safe to be in the I don't know or yes he is or no he isn't, because everyone knows that they don't know if he is. So they think he is, oh sure, sometimes and sometimes not. And so I don't think you're gonna get into like losing family relationships over is Elon good or bad, because he does enough on both sides where nobody can really pick a side. But I really need to look into this guy more, because what I've seen so far with the fast talking, this dude's for sure got the chip and the AI stream flowing through his head.
Well, we're getting some responses, so we'll keep this poll open for about 5 minutes, and then we'll find out. So if you want your vote to be counted, like actually counted, vote now.
All right, let's go on the next. What is the next?
The next one is it's Al Gore sneak note.
Oh yeah, this is a continuation of the Michelle one, but this time it's Al Gore. Did you guys know Al Gore got a note? A lot of people don't know that.
I
didn't
not
know that. I found it when I was like spying on everybody. So since I was on Al Gore, Mr. Crisis, and Koki.
All right. Well, here we go with let me make sure the volume up. I do.
George Herbert Walker Bush. Especially Donna Brazile, that line, your success is our country's success. House, 100 United States Senators, where we have one president.
And to be a great church for national purposes.
It's a big camera.
Can't wait till you see the note. It's something that came from me. After Trump and Melania enter and everyone's seated together, that's when Michelle opens and looks at her note, and Barry looks over her shoulder at it also. But what I haven't shown you is earlier, before Trump and Melania arrived, Barry's wheels are turning about the programs and some of the envelopes based on what he's seeing and hearing around him. So he reaches over onto Melania's seat and grabs her program and kind of rifles through it and snoops at the envelope inside her program. And then sneakily puts it back. And speaking of Al Gore, if we jump forward back to when Trump and Melania are already seated, we can look over at Al Gore. And see that he did in fact also get an envelope, but it's off to the side and it's not on every feed, so it got overlooked, but he did get one. And we know that Al Gore is very involved with the WEF and everything that's going on there.
Eats the bugs.
To this day with climate and crisis. Make sure you subscribe and hit notifications and check your notifications often, because they are being turned off on people. And stay tuned, because we will keep going over all these little nuances at the Bush funeral.
Read my lips. I've spoken of 1,000 points of light, of all the community organizations that are spread like stars throughout the nation doing good. We will work hand in hand.
Big tradition. It's known by different names.
Encouraging, sometimes leading, sometimes being led, rewarding. We will work on this in the White House, in the cabinet agencies.
So he penetrates the cabinets.
I will go to the people and the programs that are the brighter points of light, and I'll ask every member of my government to become involved. The old ideas are new again because they're not old. They are timeless.
We are summoning the demons.
Christian, our earthly death is not the
You know
end.
those stories where there's the guy with the pentagram and the holy water, and he's like, yeah, you sure you can control the demon?
Boss height.
Didn't work out.
Wow. Well, Gunner's wife, I had no idea that Al Gore had also got a note, and that note has really got them shaken.
Yeah, I mean it's serious. So far we've seen where Laura's note was quite the bad news for them. And we're going to elaborate more on that. There is more information to share with that. And then we saw how Barry Barry and Michelle looked concerned. And we can see that there was a lot going on behind the scenes legally for Barry, for Michelle, for the Bushes. And something you can keep an eye on in the meantime is, boy, look at the arc, the whole character arc that has occurred with George Bush, with Michelle Obama. You can see some of their latest appearances and where they go give speeches, and their manner, their energy is not as like audacious. They've been grounded. You can see how, not grounded, but like kind of knocked down a few notches. That's the vibe that I get when I watch them now. And you start to see, we already see how coordinated corporations and fashion and Hollywood and banks, and they're all coordinated, right? And you're like, gosh, people will laugh it off and be like, oh, that's a conspiracy. That's nobody's in. There'd have to be too many people coordinating to make something like that happen. And it's like, what do you think that these foundations do? What do you think that the World Economic Forum is engaged in? They are constantly coordinating people. And Bush talked about 1,000 points of light. They're put their best and their brightest out to make things happen. If you look up WEF's mission statement, is to shape global agenda. That's all these people do. And they pay each other well. And they're getting richer. And they're coordinating. And they're taking big positions to be able to say, hey, you can't disagree with government. You're a terrorist. And to pressure, tech to, hey, you're going to take that down. They're not allowed to disagree. And that's not free speech. That's dangerous. And it's like, I think that these 1,000 points of light and it's a counter movement to the little guy, to the everyday, to me, to you. There's someone there's a large group that are planning things that are in their best interest, which means it's probably not in our best interest. And what's in our best interest is not in their best interest. But they're bigger, they're richer, and they have more power and control. So it's a fight for the civilization, right? If you don't have free speech, and that's what Elon's tweet was, this is about the future of humanity's civilization. Like, without the free speech, it's nothing but tyranny. And who are the tyrants, right? There's huge, powerful, rich government corporate interests that are in lockstep, planning things ahead, talking to each other, all this.
I think that's the thing that's most concerning about it is like the extra governmental unelected people who have great amounts of power who decide for everybody how they're supposed to live their lives.
Yeah. And we're seeing that they'll just plan something like, and they have something on each other like, oh, Fauci, your videos are going to come out if you don't do this. And by the way, we're planning this, so you better not saying anything. And the things that they're planning are hiding more and more and more. Like, good luck detecting that. Good luck with what did China tell you? That's what I thought. Exactly. And it's like the hidden is in the coordinating and the silencing and the labeling terrorist. And it's just this like battle, man. It's not your traditional kind of battle. It's a battle of power, control. Anyway, so that was a good one. I've got a bunch more on the Bush funeral. We'll kind of keep circling around, the time that where the clock goes forward and the clock goes backwards. We'll go forward, we'll go backwards. We have to look at, kind of a sliding timeline in that funeral to understand what's going on. So there is a lot of circling back on things and reviews and then building on. So there's a lot more coming, but I wanted to get this out. Do we have anything left? I think that's everything.
Hey, Gunner's Wife, that's all of your prepared content. So we are in the talk about whatever you want, or go to the chat, or whatever you want to do right now phase.
Did you notate any well, some of the content you can't really keep repeating some of the
Yeah, so the viewers don't really have any questions or anything. I mean, there's a lot of interesting commentary going on right now, but nothing, I think. So if you're watching right now and you want to ask Gunner's Wife a question directly about anything, throw it in the chat and we will address your comments.
So I do want to say, and this is just a little bit of foreshadowing, because I already have in my mind where we're going with a lot of this. So I have my big picture that this is moving toward. And you guys know, when you've talked to friends and family, like, you can't just drop, that there's like certain things going on. You can't give them the bottom of the rabbit hole without taking them down the path first. And so where I'm heading and what I've seen, and you guys are right with me. You've been on this journey with me for 4 years. We just clocked 4 years as a channel. Thank you for everyone who's been here on this journey and support and sharing in these reveals. Is that because I'm learning as I go too, but I will admit I have seen the end of some. I mean, it's what it is. And where this goes, you guys already know. It is biblical. It is heaven and hell, good, evil, devil, God, Jesus. It's about truth versus lies. This is what it is. But I'm going to get into things that are going to pull this whole thing into snap focus for you. I'm not talking down to any, I know people already know. I'm just saying for some people, because I'm only talking from my experience. Like, I used to say, I totally believed in Jesus, but what is this devil thing? It's not really relevant. This is when I was younger or like in college. And it's like there were people, I've been in the media industry. There were people that were literally admitted devil worshiper, pagan, all this. I was so naive and gullible, and I'd just be like, hey, that's so ridiculous. What are you doing? You want attention. And it's serious. This stuff is going on. And it's until you see it, which I'm seeing it, it's very heavy and concentrated in the political arena and in these figures. Until you see the outright display of their religion, it's very real and it's affecting us, and that devil is real, and Jesus to this world is real. And so I'm going to get more that kind of start pegging these things, the unseen, down, that are hard to believe and hard to put into words, because you can feel something spiritually, but can you see it? Can you hear it? Yes. And I'm going to show you what I've seen and what I've heard. And we've had glimpses of it, but it's going to get kind of serious here coming up.
Sarah Jane, thank you so much for your super chat. She says, you are amazing with a dancing pear.
Happy New Year, Sarah Jane. I'm so happy that you're here. I'm glad to see you.
Okay, and then we've got, oh my, there's a lot going on in the chat.
People are waking up, huh?
Yeah, you've got some people here. Hey, everybody who's showed up over the last little bit, drop us a like for Gunner's wife. It really helps her out. And if you feel like sharing, that's awesome too. And if you haven't subscribed and you're here, please subscribe. Your name will pop up right above my alien's head. Amiko-san likes your headphones. Okay.
Yeah, you know what? I also have a remix, the Al Gore, because I was having too much fun with that. Did you guys see him? He's doing all that corny, hokey. He's like so cheesy. He's like, hey. He's like, oh my gosh. I did a remix on him because he's acting like so corny. And I still have that. We can exit out with that one if you want when we're ready. We can do just a little bit of chats, but I'm kind of cold and I'm kind of tired.
All right, Gunner's wife, hold in on that note. We can go ahead and wrap things up.
I do want to see people though, and any questions. So let's just do this for a minute.
All right. Well, we're here. Get it in.
Oh, I didn't know DeSantis had a hidden hand. I think people are trying to drum up a lot of conflict over things. I'm not paying attention because I'm trying to stay focused. Like my guy in 2024 is the same guy as 2020, the same guy as 2016. That's who I'm going for. Happy New Year. Bama Boy 74. I saw one of your comments. Oh, it already left. I saw one of your comments. Bama Boy 74. You have good comments and I've noticed them. I want you to know that. And I'm going to cover why they look up. It's fascinating. And I've got the answer on that. Now, is it the only answer? Probably not. But I've got a solid answer on that. And it's fascinating. So stay tuned on that because I'm so glad that you asked that question. I got to find a screenshot of that. I want to feature it before I do the answer to it. I want to feature your question.
Uh-oh, Sarah Jane still can't get on Twitter. That's a bummer.
Why not? Sarah Jane, were you on Twitter? Were you 808 something? You're not missing anything. Ugh, it's kind of bad. It's been nothing but like the MK Ultra 4-year psychological war, torture chamber of suppression and invisible like bot attacks and kind of a drain. It's kind of a waste and it's very I'd say it's more negative than it is positive by design. I think it's meant to wear you out, break you down, make you feel unheard, make you feel small. It's make you feel not important while they run stars, which you're like, how's this person a star? I've never, ever, ever heard of this person except on Twitter. It's like a generated platform celebrity that has no presence in the world. It's the weirdest thing. You're not missing anything. I miss you, but you're not missing anything. Happy New Year from the UK, J-Dog.
Christian
Josh Hawley.
Salby wants to know how you learned lip reading. You've addressed this before, but
I could go over it every week. Was it Christian? Christian, go back.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Go back. I only have like 6, 7 lives. Go back and start watching those lives. I think I explained it on the first one, and I think I explained it on the 6th one. Go back and I explain in detail how I lip read. It's worth your time. And to pay you for going back, you'll even get some decodes while you're watching for free.
Richard says Richard says great videos, Gunner Wife. I like to read those positive comments. I think honestly there's a lot of negativity on the internet, so I want to highlight the positive things.
YouTube has been nothing but the people here are amazing people. It's nothing. It's like a whole different dimension than Twitter. Twitter is nothing but hate. I hate you. Here's some clowns. These videos. It's like here is a breath of fresh air on the comments. So much love. Thank you so much, you guys. And I can tell people prayed for me because I had a better month this month with my health, profoundly better month. And I want to thank everyone who prayed for me. Thank you so much.
David Camp wants to know, will we still have a country in 2024?
I don't know. I'm hoping 2023 is 1776.
Let's see. Yeah, great sign for the new year with signing on and seeing you live today. Thanks, S. Bud, for that.
Trump on the jab is so confusing. Oh, it's already gone. Who was that? Jay Gib?
He just wanted to know about your opinion on him endorsing it.
Well, I think he was, if he's told what they sold it as, I mean, aren't you supposed to trust the experts if they're telling you? Now, them knowing something or withholding studies behind your back, that's different. And I mean, nobody knows. I mean, I've heard the scientists saying that it's all over the place with how they're stored and what's the temperature and who's, some are more concentrated and some are dead and some are alive. And so you don't know what you're getting. And the whole thing was supposed to be, if it was sold as the way that the experts put their word and name on it, then it should have been so great, right? Because, I mean, you were forced to say it's great. You weren't allowed to say anything else. So if you were supposed to trust what you're being told, I mean, the way I look at things is someone tells me something, I'll believe it, but if you have a pattern where you're not telling me the truth, I'm not going to believe you anymore. I'm going to question things, and maybe it was to give them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he knew something else. Maybe it just had to be this way, because you can give people options, and if people choose to do something, I don't really know. I mean, it's all speculation, right? Hopefully the truth will come out. I love 45. I don't have a problem with him. Now, if I was wrapped up in the J6 thing, sitting in a cell, I probably wouldn't like the guy very much at all, All right, well, I'm seeing some off-topic things, but nothing that I'm gonna go into on here. So, and I think we can wrap it up. It seems like it's been a very long show.
It has, Gunner's wife. So on that note, thank you for everyone who subscribed. Thank you for everybody who liked. Thank you so much, Sarah Jane, for the super chat. Really appreciate that. Helps Gunner's wife
Thank you,
out
Sarah Jane.
a lot. She puts a lot of hard work into everything that she does. And we are going to go ahead, and I think we're going to be saying goodbye here. So Happy New Year, everybody. I will give the final
Happy New
word
Year.
over to Gunner's wife, and she can count us down.
Let's roll out with my remix.
Okay, I will get the remix open.
You have the Gore remix.
I'm getting it open right now.
I mean, it's mostly what you guys already saw in the last clip. I just keep playing music on him, and he keeps dancing. So
I don't have Gore remix. I have full Gore and Gore sneak note. I don't have Gore remix.
I didn't put the Gore remix.
No, you didn't. But if you want to put it up there, I can get it going.
It's okay. It's okay. Maybe next time.
All right, everybody. We are going to sign out in 3, 2, 1.
Happy New Year.
Bye.